What's good, y'all? This is Let's Get It with Coach Los. I'm your host, Coach Los AC, certified life and relationship coach that helps people fix or find the relationships they want. And this podcast covers the best relationship advice, tools, and action steps to get the results you want in your personal, professional, and of course, love life. So I hope you get a lot of value from the episode. And if you do, as always, remember to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop new episodes. Let's get it. People often want to know, how do you know when you've healed enough to truly say you've moved on from your past relationship, to know that you're not going to backslide and all these things? And I'll tell you, I just recently had a session with a client of mine that has gotten to that space in her life to where she's actually started to truly move on for that relationship and is letting it go, right? And what happened for her, and like everyone else, myself included, back in the period of time when I went through my relationship woes, is she started to kick herself a little bit for now recognizing all the obvious flags and all the crazy things that she can't believe she put up with and that she went through and that she allowed to go on for so long. She started recognizing all the areas in the ways she wasn't putting herself first, how she was allowing her value to be treated. It was so glaringly obvious to her now, to the point where she's a little frustrated at herself about it. That part is good. It's healthy. Now, it's not healthy to harp on it, right? Once you recognize these things, hey, do better, right? Make your peace with the past and let it go, right? So she's not doing that, but it should bother you a little bit that you allow those things to go on, right? It should put some fire under you to say, how could I have not seen these different things? How did I keep putting up with that toxic cycle over and over again? And so I'm so proud of her, like so many of my other clients, right? And that she's gotten to this space, and it's been only 4 weeks or so for her, right? But she's gotten there, and now she's seeing life way differently, to where now she's starting to spend more time with friends and family, right? People that actually fills her glass up in a healthy way, doing things that nurtures her spirit, right? She's starting to live a vibrant life. And the more she keeps doing that, the more she recognizes how crazy it was for her to be in that circumstance or that dynamic that she was in for as long as she was. And I'm so proud of her for that. But that is when you really and truly know that you have gotten to a healed enough space to move on. When you start putting yourself first more than your obsession over your ex in that relationship in the morning of it. When you get to a place where you recognize, oh my gosh, I've been neglecting me for this long. I haven't been making myself the full vibrant person I'm built to be. That's when you know, and you have that little space of annoyance in yourself for what you allowed to happen for this period of time. You may even laugh at yourself a little bit, right? Get to a place like, that's so ridiculous. That's when you know you've started to move on truly. And that's a moment I live for with all of my clients that are going through a painful breakup or trying to move on and so forth, right? That moment, I see that aha happen and click for them, where they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I kept putting up with that, right? And I see me now, truly. I see my value truly now, and I'm feeding and fueling it. I'm feeding my spirit, right? And why does that do so much for me? Because I know what it's like to be in that position. Back when I went through my relationship woes, I had to have the same epiphany. Oh my gosh, why was I in this situation, right? And that's when you know that you are actually moving towards the rest of your life and not living in your past anymore. But notice the key is, the more you can focus on you and what's nurturing to you, filling your glass up, meeting your core needs, the more you can figure out how to do that in a healthy way, in a consistent way, and just continue to build that, is the more you will heal faster and let go of what was, because you're no longer attached to it out of a necessity space, right? You don't need that old relationship because you severed the needs and you're meeting them on your own, to where now you recognize that you don't want or never wanted what that was. See, when you need something because you're not healthy enough in your own right, and so you're kind of clinging to that toxic person or whatever the case is, it's hard to see with clarity to say that it's not good for you and you shouldn't be there. It's hard to see all the flags because you're in the middle of it, right? Your brain and your body's job is to keep you alive, right? Help you survive, not to thrive. Thriving is your job. So it'll get your needs met any way it needs to, even if it's unhealthy, right? So hold on to that person is whenever you're not meeting your own needs, you depend on them for it. But whenever you sever those needs for that individual and you meet them on your own, now you get to look and say, do I want this individual? And 9 out of 10 times, if it's a toxic relationship for you, you're not going to want that person. And now you're going to wake up and start seeing all the things you didn't see before because your mind's opened up to it because you've told it and gave it enough information, enough tools that it knows it doesn't need that source you were getting your needs met from before. But let me kick into one last little gear for you. And this is like a little bonus. Beyond knowing that you've actually healed enough to move on, the next level is you'll recognize you're in a whole different space of growth and wholeness and evolution for yourself the day you recognize, oh my gosh, what was I doing with that person in the first place? Because look, sometimes relationships just go left, they go awry. When you first meet someone, life's great, things are awesome with them, honeymoon phase and all that. But when you reach a certain space of growth for yourself, you look back, you say, what was I even doing with that person? They don't fit me at all. And why don't they? Why are you recognizing that? Because you'll be at a space to where you're realizing who you truly are. You're now living as the more ideal version of yourself versus the broken, void, or hurt or trauma-based version of yourself before you got healed and whole, to be able to see that the partners you were attracting or you were choosing never fit the true you to begin with. If that's something you want help with and you're serious about it and you want to get over that painful breakup you're having a hard time with and then healing to become the best version of yourself so you can attract the best partner for you, either email or DM me coaching and we will get to work if you're really ready to put the work in. Let's get it.